Welcome back to the Comic Book Collection and Updates. My name's AG. Got a healthy read of comics. Uh, let's just get into it. This week was just long with the reads. All right, Tyrant issue 3. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a hard read because we focus on Hafiz. Hafiz is the writer and the main, he's technically the main character is from Zahak, Zahak, and I'm gonna just say from where we left off, Ha- Hafiz jumped off a building and he was trying to see how far, asking the question of how far it took for Zahak to not see his father when he fell into that pit. But you find out that no, Hafiz was actually in therapy and he was basically just daydreaming about him falling and questioning a lot of things. But we're going to concentrate on Hafiz because you find out, he was in therapy and stuff like that. And they're trying to tell him, like, uh, he needs not to, his therapist telling him, hey, bro, this book, this story is taking over his life. He needs to do something else, get his mind up off of it and stuff like that. But Hayez is trying to not concentrate on. He's trying to forget what he dealt with in Iran, and because he had people read the story and stuff like that way back then when he first was starting it, and how they do it. And he wants him to talk about that in a therapy session, and he's like, "Nah, I wanna." The therapist was trying to get him to talk about that. The therapist named Tom, and Javiz is like, "Nah, I want to forget about that." And Tom was like, "Look, this is basically like that. Doing that is not the purpose of all those other therapy sessions, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna just need you to not hear anything like watch what a critic says about your story. So just watch what you listen to when you hear a thing, or take an open mind." So Hafiz have a little break where he sees Zahak in a mirror when he was leaving the thing, but we're not going to concentrate on Zahak right now. We're just going to blow past that and find out why he's in America. Because the whole time I'm thinking he's in here with his family. This is why I said this story is actually a hard read. He was not even in at beginning. It was nothing like he wasn't. It was like half and half. Like the first chapter issue was like showing that he was technically in America, but somewhere else. So let me explain. Well, when he was doing the play, no. I think the whole time in the first one he was actually in Iran. So basically, right now he's in America, and what's going on is that he don't have no job. His work visa declined, and his wife is complaining about it. And they left Iran just to like get, just so they can get away and start have a fresh and start. And this story is controlling his life and hurting him. And Zahak is like trying to take over. Well, Zahak trying to do two things. He's trying to take the reins of Haviz's life to like try to get things right, but he's also trying to get Haviz. I don't know what I said, but Haviz is trying to, trying to take over Haviz. But Haviz is like needs to want to write a story. He want Haviz to write a story, and the story about his story in life, but no one really wants to try to listen to it and stuff like that. And things are starting to crumble down. He started thinking about the past when his brother got stabbed from selling cosplay costumes, which was illegal, but some other guys thought it was some dope. And I didn't think Aran and all of them had like drug problems like that. So this is like something like, oh, is it really like that, or is this just something for the story to be, interesting? But I could believe it, but it's like I never would have known. So it, he just thought about that, and then he thought about when he was out there, he couldn't even get a permit to do it because of the new gods and everything like that they worship out there in Iran. So that's really it. But let's go to Zahak, that the real like main story that's trying to get come of what you learn. So you find out after his father fell, the word started passing around to other lands and other people and other rulers and stuff like that, and not really rulers, but like people that was under his dad, and some of them was like talking about how should we question Zaha? Should we do this? Should we do that? Oh, Zaha gonna be this? He's gonna be that, or you're gonna believe this. It was a whole bunch of nonsense, but all of them actually slowly started to like because you see conversations from like one or two, three, or probably other things, and it's like you surely see that they're starting to believe like Zaha gonna be the ruler, and we should follow. And Zahak, when he was get presented with the crown, it was like they didn't even tell him his dad died. They just like he knew. They just seemed like he knew, and so he had just accepted it. So that was something. So basically, Zahak is taking the crown, and he party, drank, and everything like that. They all celebrated. I don't know for some days or it was it a day. I didn't really understand it, but I think it was probably for days. So when he sober up, he sober up and uh, a vagabond came through and he tells him he's a great cook and he can find his way. He knows good butchery and stuff like that. So Zahak listened to him and told him go do what you do. But come to find out, that guy was actually putting a spell on the meal, and I don't know if it was on purpose because Zaha is trusted this nomad, and this nomad, from the last issue, and it's like the nomad's basically saying, "I will protect you from anything." And I wonder if this vagabond have something to do with that protection. That's why he put in the spell, and he wanted to do it because he just came out of the blue from nowhere. So we're about to figure all that out. But everybody is like obeying like right now. So it's like wondering like from the first issue how they showed like he was this this ruler that was torturing and doing whatever to he was doing all this torturing. It seemed like he didn't need to, or basically all that killing, but it seemed like he didn't need to. So I don't know. This story got interesting. It was a hard read, but it just had these little interesting things. Like the Zahak story itself is what's interesting. The back with the writers, like try to get it to the modern times and try to make you think a little bit. And it's like it's throwing me off because it's like I don't know. The author just didn't set up to he should have set it up a different way with the writer with Hafiz. So, but like I said, next issue, I hope we get like a easier way to read and more as a hawk. The voice that killed. So, man, Marie basically brought him to the submarine, and they were about to leave. They was gonna let Marie stay there on her own and go off back until Tommy came. Now Tommy is just a coworker who was sick, and he found the tracks and followed. And he basically, I said this at the end of the last one. He confirmed what I said. He didn't know who Carrie was because Marie was like, "Where's the reinforcements?" All kind of stuff. I told Carrie that the dispatch that we needed help and I needed whatever. But come to find out, Carrie was never real. Actually, the earpiece they found out the people who captured they found out they ain't had no batteries or nothing in that bad boy. So basically, she was just hallucinating or something. Well, that's gonna be explained. But anyway, Tommy comes try to save the day, but he's still sick. And when he was throwing up, the people who kidnapped Marie shot him. But before that, um, they had a little situation. The guy who had the submarine was talking about his boss said they might need a little leadership in the group because he didn't forget what happened in Chicago. So what happened is two of the whatever members they had got killed. The leader, boom, and his strongman buff guy, they shot him. They slit his throat. So basically, they're dead, and now the female, Cindy, is the leader, and they're about to set up some stuff with some dope. They're not going in the submarine. What they're gonna do is they're gonna go and they're gonna go back and go sell dope somewhere, and they're gonna take the long way around. And then Tommy Kane threw up trying to stop them and got a shot, and he shot the guy who was gonna drive the submarine and who had the dope to give to Cindy. And if he dies, uh, his boss is going to kill Cindy in that group because they're gonna think that they set their guy up. So with that being said, they're going back. Now Marie found out that she don't have nobody in the earpiece, nothing like that, but a voice keep talking to her. And she finds out that she is trying to think if it's voodoo magic, something, her baby talking, whatever, swamp magic, whatever, but because of that, they don't know. And they just have this situation where she's trying to figure out that, and they're walking through the swamp and basically explain, like, basically was just trying to circle around the long way, not the same way they went, because the way how Tommy tracked them was because they pushed over mushrooms that had footprints and stuff like that to show that somebody been walking. So they're going this long way, and they noticed that the guy who was guarding the submarine is dying. So they was like, there. Marie suggests there's a place, but you got to trust me, and there will be a price if you go there. Which this is going to be messed up because in the first issue, when she killed oh boy, his mother said, man, she wants Marie to find him and make sure the police don't get to him because, whatever. And she was like, hey, bro, if something happened to my sons, hell's gonna pay. And that's why Marie fed his body to the thing after she shot him, because she knows that old girl's gonna make hell to pay. But at the end of this issue, that's the place they're gonna be going to, because that's the only place that can help your boy from the cartel who's gonna drive the submarine live. But like I said, there's gonna be a price to pay, and whew, hopefully she don't find out that, hey, Marie killed their son. News from the Fallout issue 4. Um, so I don't know who the woman is, but I do know the main character, which they said his name, but they don't say his name a lot, so I don't remember his name. I have to go relook in the other comics, but um, what it is, Joe. Joe and one lady from the diner, and what's in the main character basically are the only ones left. They're looking for the keys to the truck, and Joe. They look back. Charlie's out there, and Charlie's about to attack them. He's transformed, and Joe remembers he gave the keys to Charlie. So the main character, he attacks. He throws a knife at Charlie's head. Throws a knife at Charlie's head. Boom! Kicks his feet on there. Takes the gun that Charlie was holding and shoots him, because Charlie brought the gun from the diner and outside with him, like as transformed. So they hop into the truck. They driving off, and they see McCoy, General McCoy, and an army of the transformed, and they're sitting there thinking to themselves, like, man, why is he? Why did he do this? And the main character tells them there's a red, like, ash, snow, whatever, like that came from out the bomb or whatever like that, and that came through. And those ravens, I think McCoy's controlling them because they've seen a whole bunch of ravens, and McCoy have an albino raven that stays on his shoulder. So basically, ravens are going to play a part in some of the things, and they see that the everybody transforms and sees them and traveling to them, and it was like, okay, we gotta go. And they look at the truck's gas needle, and it was like, it's almost at E. How far do you think your truck can go? And it's like, probably another 5 miles. So they was like, we're gonna be stranded, and it's like, so where can we go? And they know a town called Deadwater. It's somewhere in the distance, and so they was like, we'll go there. The truck didn't make it there. They get there, and well, while driving there, they learned the history of Deadwater. Deadwater is a ghost town. Not really learned the history, but knows it's a ghost town. People died off from some mining accident or something and stuff like that. They said some stuff. They got a little article in the back of the comic where they try to explain like something and how it's a ghost town. But anyway, they get there and they see a whole bunch of grave sites. And then, like, as long as they stay dead, the main character says, as long as they stay dead, that's. And then they were like, hey, welcome to Deadwater. And it's this old guy and his dog. And he's like, so what the hell y'all doing here? And it ends like that. It was a really sharp read. It's cool. It was like, it basically like setting up for whatever five and I think it's 6 issues altogether. So whatever 5 and 6 got in store, it just try to move the story along to basically those issues. So it wasn't really impactful, but it's just like, all right, you see that the main character got some skill in combat, and they might be holding down the fort in that water. So hopefully we figure out what's gonna happen there. All right, so we got the Mr. Terrific Year One issue 5. Um, man, Athena, whatever her name is, bruh, she is basically just she is dead set on setting off the little reactor or whatever the thing engine, and she got she passed out in the last issue from the little burn and reaction. She didn't get no radiation. Her body absorbed all the radiation, but it's not seeping out. So she got 30% of her body got third-degree burns, and she's still like, now, we're gonna activate this thing before somebody shut us down, and or activate it before whatever, to hurry up and get it done. And she's forcing herself to do it. And while that's happening, Mr. Terrific, Michael Holtz, he basically is setting up to take care of the issue by getting lawyers to shut Athena, whatever her name is, plant down. He's getting, I think, Batman, well, Bruce Wayne, to try to buy it, and he's trying to make hospitals to treat people just in case of the radiation, ether radiation. So with all that being done and said, he's basically trying to make sure he got some stuff covered. He's trying to be like 2 to 3 steps ahead, and I could tell without them even saying that. So all that, he's setting up all that. Your girl still is about to set everything up in art, and we have Black Lightning showing up to his house. They was old friends. He was at Dre's funeral, and you find out, but they talk about how Dre was died, how a sniper hit him, all kind of stuff like that. And Black Lightning and Mr. Terrific made up as friends because, the little problem they had, not why they wasn't friends, is because I don't know, but it was like some shit where they stopped being friends, and then Black Lightning came to control his powers, and Mr. Terrific used him Michael Hurst used him as a science experiment, and he didn't like that. But in truth, it was really like, no, I was really trying to help you control it, and I even made these gauntlets for you and stuff like that to help the surge and everything like that. So basically, they was like, well, Dre wouldn't want us to be angry, so we could be cool. Yeah, we cool. And then they had like a little back and forth, like, this brotherly love, because three, they were the triple threat in track and field, and they had a little joke saying, "You still can't beat me in a 200." You want to go? I still got it. They was talking shit to each other. So um uh Mr. Terrific had an alarm go off about an active shooter at the reactor site or whatever like that. So Black Lightning and Mr. Terrific went out there, and they see it is Karma, the bird name guy that was beating the shit out of Mr. Terrific when he was hired, when he was still working with after he got fired and stuff like that, and he wanted to take it out, so he just started going shooting people and trying to make an explosion. So Mr. Terrific said, "You know what? I'll handle this guy while you go stop the reactor because it looked like it's about to explode." So while those two fighting, Mr. Terrific basically beats him up and everything like that. It was like it helped, like the fight helped Mr. Riffin understand, like, hey, you know what? I just need to be here just to fight this. I don't need to really be a superhero, but I still need to come and fight this guy to stick up for the small people, for the and and Black Lightning, he's dealing with their acting. He hits up Mr. Terrific and acts like, man, look, there's this pipe and these other pipes do this and that, and it's like, hey, if you connect these things together with this, it helps do it. But it's like Black Lightning was like, hey, isn't that going to activate the or help the reactor do something? He was like, yeah, but if we don't, the neighborhood's gonna blow up. So like Lightning did what he had to do, Mr. Terrific beat Corum Coromont or something like that, whatever the little bird name supposed to be. But all that they did all that successfully, right? And the thing is that they think it's finally over, but it's not. It ends up with them like saying it's finally over and telling you the title of the next issue is "It's Not Over." And let's go back to Athena, whatever her name is. What is her name? Athens, or whatever like that. Um, she is, or let's just call her Miss Prescott. Miss Prescott is just like, she starts showing off when you see her gets back to the to the facility. You start to see her hand glow, and I don't know if that was supposed to show that she got third-degree burns or the radiation is starting to glow up on her. So they're probably about to have something going on with her that's about to be like, oh shit, we gotta handle her. But let me say, like, that's really the end of the issue. But let me just say this: please get this, because there is. I'm not telling you the real full story of these issues, because I think I said it beforehand. He's in the ether, whatever, where dark sides normally be and everything like that. And I just want you to know, like, some shit happens and you see a kid come talking about get away from my dad. You have to read that little stuff because it ties in like so many different other issues together, as in like the Flash number 799. So I just giving you the heads up. I'm not giving you all the food. Like most of the comics I give you, if they have like little small things, like different scenarios and shit like that, different situation where it's like present and back then, I'm gonna give you the main focus. And most of this, like Mr. Terrific, is the past. So just know that you need to check these comic book guys. Do not rely on me to basically know everything, because I'm not going into great details, but I'm giving you a good bit of information. Emma Frost, White Queen, issue 4. Okay, I'ma just say it and say it now. Say it with my chest. Say it proudly. And just say that Emma Frost is dumb. Stupid. Rit- We're not gonna say that word. But yeah, she's just dumb. Just stupid. Because, okay, she goes to the Hellfire Club. I don't know why she keeps going to Hellfire Clubs. That's one of the dumbest, stupidest things you could ever do. You don't have a membership no more. You don't have allies. If your protege nor betrayed you, why are you going to the Hellfire? So she went to the Las Vegas branch, even though she needs to be in New York, and at that one to stop some stuff. She sits up there, goes to the Hellfire one, try to get help from Asdeen or something like that. One who's able to basically uh, switch and make the club, the Las Vegas club, profitable and everything like that. Sebastian personally chose her to do it, and I'm gonna just say that it's Okay. Hold on. Let me take it back. She's not stupid and dumb, not that badly. It's because of the simple fact is that it's she just had to realize it's a doggy dog world. Just because she don't have a membership didn't mean she had friends. As she was a friend, and the only reason why I'm saying that Emma was dumb is because Adeline did betray her, but not in the ways you think. It wasn't because she wanted to have like she because of the hit or the Hellfire has a hit on Emma and want her gone. She did it because of her own objective. So this is how it goes. Emma goes to the club, calls for Azadine or whatever her name is. They talk, they speak, they they wonder why Nor and I forgot that other woman's name, but she's wondering why they were talking and what made Nor so interested. What made that woman so interested in Nor? So once they ask this question, and it's like, what was her name though? That's all I want to know. But anyway, Tesla. Why Tesla had interest in Nor? There was a reason, but we don't know. So I'm guessing that's going to play a big part of the next issue. But Azanine is like she don't know. She wants to, but hey, new recruits just gotta learn. Don't know nothing about loyalty. It's a survival world nowadays. But then Emma started feeling woozy and stuff like that because she was drugged from a drink. And Azanine said, "Listen, they're doing something for. They're trying to vote in a new white queen, and I can't have you mess up my plans. You know what I'm saying? So I need." She tells the henchman, "I need y'all to go dump her out in the desert. You know what spot, so there won't be any evidence because she most likely is supposed to get told. She's supposed to tell probably the Hellfire that she spotted Emma and let them all know, but she don't want to because there's also something about the spot that Emma went to that to dispose of. But when Emma wakes up in the desert in the spot, she meets a sentinel and they go after her. Like she sees a destroyed sentinel. The sentinel activates, sit up there, reconstructs itself. They have like one or two, and they try to take Emma down and stuff like that. She used one to destroy one, and then while she's fighting, she hurt her ankle, and she was almost caught until somebody comes to rescue her, and that person defeats the other Sentinel, and then she finds out it's Mystique, and Mystique tells her that, hey, this is Sebastian's failed little place operation. Like basically, Sebastian is a mutant, and the fucked up part is he's a mutant that helped fix up the that end up like funding the project for these Sentinels. And in the Hellfire Club, Mystique was like, I want we should have mutants that's pro mutant in the Hellfire Club. So you know what I'm saying? Because even though the Hellfire don't like mutants and they're trying to get rid, they don't like mutants. Also, they just have certain ones that they work with. They basically Mystique just saying she want a mutant that's pro mutant there, and was like, I'll help you. And them was just thinking like, I don't need no help, but it was like they're about to vote on a new white queen in whatever little days. I think 4 days, even though it's supposed to be like a week or so, a whole week, not just 4 days. You know, like they moved it up because of some sneaky suspension. So basically, Emma got a race to New York with Mystique to stop the vote for a white queen and solve who was the real mole at the at that party, who got the X Men to crash. So we'll find out. We'll find out. But I am gonna say this: I trust Emma to be safe with Mystique more than anybody in the Hellfire. So we'll see how issue 5 goes. All right, Death of the Silver Surfer, issue 4. Man, Kelly just had a reality check in this one. So she sits up there and calls Herman to try to stop, to tell him that the blood of Galactus that he took was sealing these. No, 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 no. The thing that he cooked, the galactic power that he cooked, the cosmic power that he cooked, it was holding back like the blood of Galactus, and from taking that, he let them out, and they are now going to Earth to attack. And oh man, she tries to explain that he needs to do something about it, and he's like, "Nah, I'm doing something about it." Doesn't realize he's going to be the cause of a lot of things. Right now, the station that she was stationed at, yeah, the alien Brewers Hub Station satellite headquarters, it was going to defend Earth in against the blood of Galactus. Oh, it's failed. So just know that. With that, like, but her mother was on there, so it was like, all right, that was the thing she needs to worry about. And Harmon, he didn't realize that. Like, man, he just wanted that cosmic power to do whatever he wants to because it can fight off the Silver Surfer and some other high level beings. But it's the thing is that he's making Earth a target for other high level things that, if not used rightly, it won't work against them either. Because come to find out, it wasn't just the that cosmic power; it was also the stone that was around it, and they were destroying the stone, trying to get into it. So basically, um, the blood of Galactus was just flying through, and the Fantastic Four was still like trapped. That was the stuff that was flying through in the last issue that got to that the Fantastic Four is up in. So Kelly, the Silver Surfer, released the other. She released the Silver Surfer and the other aliens, and they went go save the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four explained that the rock that was what like the thing, the structure that they was all hidden up in, it have some stuff that can help prevent or help fight against those creatures, the blood, well, the blood of Galactus. So they are, so they sit up there and like thinking like, oh man, how are we gonna do this? The thing gets transformed into part of it by the Son of Hulk, the old because of the old powers, and he gets of that the structure, so it's like he's able to fight well against those creatures. But man, some stuff goes down where basically they're trying to save the day. They got they're trying to get the what those guys are, the bureau and everything like that, that substation, to stop fighting and all kind of stuff, stop destroying the rock, and they don't listen, and they are just, they're just fucking up, and they they end up getting attacked, they end up losing, and actually, like, the thing, Shock and all of them, the little thing they fight against, and they didn't win. They get knocked out. Silver Surfer and Kelly Cole defending, also helping. They fell, but it's like a little different. So Kelly went to go save her mom, but she was too late, and the Silver Surfer was still fighting off against the Blood of Galactus, and Herman was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna take you out." And Herman, I don't know what's his deal. He's not understanding things, but he got hit. He shot something at the Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer was like, "Here." He gave power to Kelly to become like a Silver Surfer, the cosmic power, the chaos power, whatever like that. And she got it, and she tries to turn and like try to revive her mom, and it didn't work. And the Silver Surfer got mad about that, and he's going to Earth, and he's like, "I tried to open your eyes against your leader and everybody else who told you to hate, but man, my eyes were closed, and now I gotta realize like I left a blind eye to certain things, and now I need to open my eyes and be going." And he's, I think, heading to Earth, and he's heading to Earth with aggression. So can't wait for issue 5. Check that out. Venom, Black, White, Blood. This is Marvel Comic Group. Yeah, I got the variant of like an old, almost an old style one, but yeah, it's still like newish and stuff. But anyway, this was actually a good comic, man. It was a good read. There's 3 stories in one, and let's start off with Convergence. It's basically Eddie Brock meeting Mindy, and Peter Parker's talking to MJ, and the discussion. Mindy taking Eddie Brock to um, to lunch, and Peter and MJ is talking about her going to a movie career and flirting with a guy, and just trying to say like that's her thing. She needs to do that to get a movie role. And Eddie Brock is just telling Mindy he works out, and what else? In that oh well, she says like how she quit. All of that. Quit everything with the Daily Bugle or whatever like that or whatever. She said she quit once he got fired. Oh, the Daily Globe. And so they just, were just doing the catch up thing, told her how she liked the movie and she was going to the premiere and stuff like that. So her and MJ actually going to the same place. Now, MJ getting ready for the premiere, she was running late. So Peter dressed up as Spider Man and gave her a ride there. And Mindy heads out, and Eddie Brock sees Spider Man in the area, so he thinks that Spider Man was following him. So they fight. They try to convince each other. You find that this is in between a issue of which Spider Man that is. I'm looking through the comic right now to tell you. Oh, Amazing Spider Man. Well, this story continues in Amazing Spider Man 346, but you got a reference in you know from all that. Also, when Mindy was meeting Eddie Brock, there was a reference of the movie. Talk about it. Talking about have you worked out? Have you been working out? It's like you went from Trevor Grace to Tom Holland, talking about to Tom Hardy, and they're talking about the Venom verse from the Spider Man, the first original Spider Man movie. So yeah, they talking about that. So basically they are basically just making references and saying like it's a nice movie reference, just put it that way. And that's all I'm saying. But besides that, Venom and Spider-Man fights, and Spider-Man trying to tell him like, hey, if you need to do this, and there Spider-Man's trying to make him realize like, hey, bro, you're gonna kill innocent Venom because by the debris. And eventually Venom make a huge debris right there by the movie thing, and it falls. And when it falls, it ends up you know, falling on about to fall on some civilians, some innocent people. So, you know, they Spider Man acts quick because his webs ran out, and he goes and tries to get tries to save the day, and he tries to get all the people out the way, but he fails and kills one. And the one he in the breed kills one person, and the person it kills is Mindy. And I think Venom calms down, everything calms down, but Brock goes to the mortuary or something like that, a medical examiner, and says like she's dead, and it was Mindy, and Eddie Brock is blaming Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and it's like okay, and Peter Parker is like, hey, he's telling MJ, I can't watch you while watching my back from Venom, so I need to go solve this problem before I do anything. So basically, like I said, it continues in Amazing Spider-Man 346, but it's just a small story that they put into this comic. And there's another story called Venom Vice, right? So before we talk about Venom Vice, this is after Venom License to Kill. So go read that when you understand this. And this one is basically uh, him being a spy or whatever like that. And it starts off with him in a boat deflecting bullets, and the bullets deflect and hit the guy that was with him in the boat. So you find out that some agents put a bomb in his ear, saying like, "Look, man, you need to do what we say, or you explode, or whatever like that." and he's saying he paid his debt, but it was like they don't care, just do it. So he does the job. So the thing is that he's not supposed to let Venom be seen. It don't go so well. So he deflects bullet, it kills the guy that's in the thing. The guy's named Gary. He's got to go save this person named Lugman. And while trying to save Lugman and stuff like that, you know, he accidentally kills Lugman. And so he have to sit up there and lie to, well, kill some of the people he's working with. Because what happened is that he infiltrated a mob family, and basically he needs to hide his identity. So the mob family is going after Lugman. There's supposed to be a boat on the top, but he actually gonna kill Lugman, so the boat couldn't pick him up. Next is he's supposed to pick up Horstens, who is a stripper or something like that. He fucks that up and right there in front of the agents and had to kill somebody on one of the mob things. Even on the boat, he had to kill some of the mob members because they well, one of them because they seen him in a Venom suit. Things didn't happen with the with Horstens, and it's crazy because he keeps he kills somebody there. But let's go back to the boat. When he was on the boat, they asked him, "What happened to the Gary that was riding with you in the boat?" And it was like, maybe Gary left with Lugsman woman and stuff like that. So the whole thing is everybody that he's going after, the mob is trying to kill, and he needs to go take them into custody to protect them. And he fails. So he failed on that one. He fails on a woman named Horstens, and he kills some. So every time he fails those, he have to kill. He also get caught and he kills a member of the mob. So there was Valentino. He fucked up, did that one. Peter, Peter Astar or something like that. He fucked up on that one. That guy fell from heights. Well, fell from heights and got a heart attack. Even though Venom had him in a safe little thing, he died from a heart attack. Then the Jimmy Two Thumbs, he had some stuff thrown in his eye. They was ready to explode, explode this man's head. But here's the thing, right? It's so fucked up shit. So they, how can I explain? So basically, he killed all them people. They want to explode him, but he talked them out of it because the simple fact is he's finally about to meet the boss, and if he can meet the boss, they can know his identity, and knowing his identity, they can get him arrested at least or something. They could do at least something with the identity, even though they wanted those people as witnesses. It didn't happen. So a guy named Carl was like, "Look, we're gonna introduce you to the boss," and guess what? Carl ended up dying by when he was talking when Eddie Brock was talking to the agents. He was dressed up as Venom, and when Carl walked through the side, he had to stab him with the Venom suit, and it was like, oh, yep, Carl's dead, and he was like, don't worry about it, don't worry about nothing, don't explode my head. The boss is in the next room, but he realized that there was no noise, so he started looking at the pictures, started looking at everything, and he finds out that the whole time the boss been dead. Because when he was on that boat reflecting bullets and that bullet hit Gary, they killed the boss by doing that because Gary was the goddamn boss. This whole goddamn issue, this whole little story right here was pointless. It was good though. I liked the ending. It was a little funny. It was a little comic relief. I like that shit. It was good to me. So the last one is Hard Choices, Heavy Burden. And this one is of the what's his name? If you know anything about Agent Venom or Venom Agent, whatever like that. It's basically this story, and it got a reference of where this one actually take place in the timeline, but I don't see where it's at very much where it's at because it's whatever. Do it tell you what time of the place in the timeline it is? Must not. So oh well. Anyway, let me just tell you what happens then. So basically, what's his name? Corporal Eugene Flash Thompson. He's getting the medal and stuff like that. But before he get the medal, a explosion happens, and people's hurt. and one of them that's hurt is his friend, or basically, is it his friend? I wouldn't know it's a friend, but it's his General Commander Willis. Commander Willis get hurt, and while he's trying to save him as Agent Venom, his his nemesis come through, and it is, what's his name? Look like Green Goblin, but it ain't that. It is Jack O' Lantern, and he have to fight through Jack O' Lantern, and basically he thought Jack O' Lantern was dead because he got burnt half his face, and then put him in a pool of acid or whatever like that, or toxins and stuff, and he was still alive. Toxic chemical bath, yep, but he was still alive. So basically she's fighting through him, waiting for like the cavalry to come, and like he's having this thing where it's like, if Jack O'Lantern is just doing this stuff because of him, right? That means like nobody's safe, and he have to make hard choices to basically keep people safe, right? And one of the things is this: it's to let Jack O'Lantern run when cavalry comes, or chase him down. And he chose to let him escape to make sure that Commander Willis survived. And he thinks back to before this a little situation where he Captain America tells him the suits we wear are not always guaranteed that we're, because we have powers and stuff, we're going to always succeed. It's actually a burden on what, of the choices that we make, and you'll have to live with the rest of your days. So, it's just to tell them like your choices have big consequences and stuff like that. So his thing is, if it's meant to let him escape for to save someone, he'll to save someone, he'll do it. And I'm not, and that's the end of that little story. Besides that, yeah, three stories in one. It wasn't bad. I actually enjoy them. And if I gotta say which ones I like first, I like Venom Vice, then Convergence, and then hard, hard whatever, because that one have a long title. But what was the title name before I let that go? Oh, hard choices, heavy burdens. So yeah, that's in the order of how I like them. Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe. Oh man, let me tell you. So Doctor Strange got Godzilla to go to the other realms and stuff like that, and he went to destroy like all type of ancient beings. He's going out there fighting, making sure that everybody know, hey, I'm the king of monsters. So he was actually in there for eternity. So guess who he meets in there? The dreaded Dormammu, or whatever, however you said. I forgot after Bring on the Bad Guys how to say it there. But Dormammu or whatever like that. He fights Godzilla, and Godzilla used him as a punching bag. That he was so tired of being a punching bag that he sent Godzilla back to the time that he left, to the shores of Mer something, Mer something. I don't know. He sends Godzilla back because in the island nation of Madripoor, and Logan got a bar there, a bar or something like there. So he was he hears Godzilla there, and he's like, "Hey, X Men, how far long was it come?" They were like 10 minutes. So the X Men come, they come and fight, and they're trying. Professor X trying to use some brain, trying to get into Godzilla's brain to calm him down. Uh, Newsflash, that don't work. That's just Godzilla is just a force of nature. It does not matter what's going on the top of his head. It does. He's just going to keep going. So, with that being said, all of that going on, my favorite part of the X-Men fighting this, because all the attacks ain't doing nothing, but there's one attack that was effective for a second. And that's when they find out Magneto comes through, tells them, talking about Charles said y'all might be overmatched in this fight. While Logan was on Godzilla trying to stab, thinking to himself, hey, I can't this guy's hide too thick, I can't get through there. Magneto comes, gives zero shits about fucking Logan being an actual human being. He used this motherfucker as a goddamn drill. Spins him, so he got Logan's claws out, spins him around consistently, and makes him drill into Godzilla's chest. And then after that, Godzilla goes down. And like Charles, no, not Charles, Magneto was like, sorry, Godzilla. But no, sorry, Beast. I took no joy. Oh shit! Godzilla came back up and spit, blasted Logan out into Magneto. They hit the ground, and they just still struggling with Godzilla. But Black Panther, he's making like a mech suit, but he's also making like a. He also is calling what's his name? He also went go try to retrieve the Hulk, and he got some stuff for the Hulk to fight. He got some stuff for the Hulk to go and fight against Godzilla with. So the only thing is they want the X-Men to lead Godzilla there and then come help defend it, Wakanda and everything like that. So X-Men, Charles basically throws something in Godzilla's mind, talking about come face the king, come face the Black Panther. Yeah. So Godzilla goes chase off. And that's where it starts to end, where Godzilla leaves the island, goes heading towards Wakanda. Wakandans went go get Bruce Banner, and they gave him some weapons, and the weapons are made from a different type of vibranium material that's like that's been compressed, hardened from being deep down in the earth. So he's about to have like a hammer and a axe. Basically, it's like Thor shit, but like yeah, basically the fight against Godzilla, as you know, the Hulk fight against Godzilla with a hammer, and the Hulk fight against Godzilla with a hammer and an axe, and trying to buy time for um Black Panther to have his mech made. But hey, if you've seen Death Battle, Godzilla versus the Hulk came out, go check those guys out, yeah, okay, okay, yeah, no, well, what issue is this? Oh, Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe, issue 3. All right, Predator, Black, White, and Blood. This one, just like the Venom, got 3 stories in it, and I gotta say I enjoyed it. So we go back to the third part of what that is, Blackwood Part 3. So no, Bloodwood Part 3. And the child, they didn't say a name in this, so I don't remember. But she been training with the Predator, and she became this for like 3 seasons. So like winter, fall, summer type deal, and she became like a hunter herself. Not a great one, but a good hunter. And they training, learning how to fight. She could kill alligators and stuff like that. But while they're sitting up there camping, just living out, they stop being hunted by Big Jim, and the Predator senses someone coming, and it is his own kind, 3 of them. So I'm not understanding, but I'm trying to understand. He's thinking, I think I'm like, so this is only me. Even reading it, I still can't understand it. So when the 3 Predators come up, it's they call him Lost One. Calls, and it was like the job. Basically, a race calls you to judgment. Basically, trying to say what's going on. But he explained his story. To him, he feel like disgrace. He feel like he lost his honor because he lost his arm. How Big Jim treated him. He feel like disgrace. But they did not treat him that way. It's like they gave him a weapon and they walked off. I don't know if they was trying to get him to go home with them, or if he was trying to basically take his it's he's still thinking to taking his revenge, but he want to go home and he can live out his days. He could still serve his kind, but he could serve them, not involved in a hunt. I think they took pity on him, and it was like once they heard the story, they was like, "Oh, you crashed, and the man took advantage of you there. So basically, if you know the story, he crashed and Big Jim's cut off his arm early on before he can even do anything. He wasn't prepared for the hunt at all. So I think they took Petty and was like, all right, that's understandable, but I don't know. But the girl they call her, he calls her Youngblood. He feels like she's good, even and she's better, and he wants to praise her so much, but he don't understand. He can't really translate the full tongue. He knows a little of the words, but he can't translate the full tongue of her of the language. But he basically is telling her like this, like we're training to go take revenge, but he was thought, you know what? No, we don't need that. It's not worth it. I go home. I'm not bad blood and stuff like that. So you're die if you go after Big Jim. Basically explaining to her, don't go after Big Jim, you die. I'm going home. It's not worth it. But he's still contemplating, like he watches and he's like, I think I should help her out and stuff like that. She's quiet. She don't say nothing. She's going to sleep. And he's wondering, like, I think like she should choose like just live on her own and don't worry. But what you find out is the bodies that's sleeping is like a hidden puppet. It's like a fake pup. Like it's basically like some pillows and a little some red leaves and a skull. And he didn't realize it. So she became a great hunter, and she know how to deceive. So he thinking she's resting, and she went back and started to go on her hunt, and she ends off with her killing a guy. So basically, we start off with her. So the next issue we're going to be starting off with her killing somebody. So the next one is this one. Let me go find out the name of this game. Oh, Make It Red. There we go. Make It Red. Basically, it starts off with like a guy in a cafe in a diner asking for eggs and whatever with chili, and then he asked for green at first, and he's reading the paper, and the waitress said, do you believe in that stuff? Talking about they saw a flying saucer, and he's like, my ancestor knows something about that years ago and stuff like that. Mind you, this whole scene is going to play at the end, and the flying saucer they found was like predators inside of it, and it was like three. And when you go to the military base, it's like they got one and they showing that it can bleed and it can hurt. And it was like, don't accidentally kill this one like you did the other two and stuff like that. And they basically just run an experience. But there was a fourth one. And that fourth one went back to go save. Like, this story is real short. The fourth one went to go save his comrades. And it's like, okay, two is dead, one's still alive. All right, kill the scientists, kill the little guards, boom, boom. Then come back out, give them his stuff. Then they go out and they go kill some other ones, kill some other guards, and boom, boom, boom. And then, uh, those two set off and went free. And at the end, the same scene pull out, just eggs today. And it's like, do you want chili with it? Yeah, make it green. And then on the paper it's this time, and like the Rachel said, you believe that? And this time it says, oh, an explosion. And this is a Native American man the whole time, So he's talking about, yeah, I believe my people dealt with this type of stuff before, talking about a bomb and stuff like this, you getting off explosive testing and everything like that. And he says at the end, you know what? Make it red. Now, if you don't understand why make the first beginning it says make it green when he's picking out the chili, this is like a real easy thing. I might be wrong, but it's really easy to figure this one out. To me, but to me, it's basically make it green is that the bloodshed was the predators getting caught, stuff like that, getting tortured, getting experimented on, they bleeding. At the end, it says make it red because that fourth predator comes, kill all the guards, free his, and they kill and make an explosion. Human blood was spilled. So make it green, make it red. It's basically that thing. And it was, it was a quick story. It wasn't something fancy and stuff like that, but it was like a nice little decent read. Nothing to really go, oh, this is fire, but it was all right. Now the third one, I don't like this one, not because it wasn't a good read. It's because it was like it wasn't a good read because it was just sharp and it's like, hey, hold up, bro, this could have been more. This had you wanting more. So you're dealing with a pirate crew, and you got the members. They it's like after a storm, and like they're just looking for surviving members. They find surviving members. They're wondering their ship is just floating ashore, floating in the sea, and all of a sudden they hit something. They go, someone expect, and it's a predator ship. Predator comes out, start attacking, and he kills like the remaining crew members. But there's only one guy, but he does not pick up a weapon. And he's like, hey, if I'm going to die, just make it quick. And the predator runs after him and passes him clean up and jumps into the water. Why? Because some sea creature, like a goddamn kraken or something like that, comes coming out the fucking water. And I'm sitting up there like, man, they made this seem so fucking quick. He jumps up with his spear, he stabs it in his eye, and he's like going deep into his fucking eye. And then all of a sudden, the fucking kraken creature just wraps his arm around him and brings the predator down into the water. That's it. But that's not the end of it. The guy that was left, I think that his name was Carlos. I'm not sure, but I'm not gonna go check and look. But he falls like from all the waves from the fight. He gets flown off of the remainder of the ship and falls on the predator ship. And he says a thing talking about, did this mean I'm the new captain? Meaning that he got a new ship, the predator ship. But that's the end of that one. It's alright. Like I said, I like the Bloodwood one. That's really it. The other two was like, wasn't really necessary, but at the same time, they wasn't that bad. That last one though, that last one, what is it called? The Demon of the Deep. Just know that could have been more. That could have been more. Like, come on, we could have had a full-fledged fight with that one. But hey, it is what it is, and it was alright.